Hello and welcome to my podcast. We're going into episode 2 today, and that means we're going to be talking about the ever elusive Kyla Rooney. Because we know that I never want to talk about this, but we're going to talk about it today. Okay, so I met Kyla in 2018 or 2019. I'm not adequately sure of the year because I've deleted all of those memories, but I think it was 2018. And it was in like April, like shortly after my birthday. And she was getting divorced, or was divorced, I should say, not getting divorced. She was fully not married anymore. And my friend at the time was my friend, who's not my friend, but she'll be in a different segment for you. Went up to her and was like, "Hey, are you single?" And she first said like, "No, I'm married," and then she said, "Wait, no, I am single." And I was like very confused by this response, because I'm like, if you're either single or you're not, like, how can you be both? And then she explained that she had just gotten a divorce. And so I let my friend give her my phone number. She never called me, but I did run into her when I was walking around the neighborhood with my friend Rachel, who will also be in another segment, a toxic friend segment. And I was walking around with her, and we ran into her on the sidewalk, and I was talking to her, and I asked her, you know, she had told me she had quit the job that I met her at, which was UDF here, which is a gas station, United Dairy Farmers, for those of you that may not know. And we started talking then. A couple of days went by, we started talking on social media, a couple more days went by. And I was kind of not unaware. I was unaware at this time that she was an alcoholic. But I did notice that there was strange behavior. I didn't know what was causing it, but I knew after about like 6 o'clock at night, talking to her was pointless because she was not herself. And obviously now I realized that she was probably drunk by that point. But after about 6 or 6:30, you weren't going to get shit out of her that made sense. And she was often mean about it, and the background of it all, she was a bitch most of the time when she was drunk. I found out from Rebecca, a good friend of mine, still friends with her 7 years later, and we're still friends. I found out from Rebecca that she had owned a deli in town that was called Alexander's Market and Deli, which ironically at this time is where I was working. I was a part-time sandwich maker, basically, and I worked there for most of that year, and I ended up leaving, but not because of Kyla or even the boss, even though he was a little flirtatious. It's like, you barking up the wrong tree, dude. But because of another coworker who, like, was a little cuckoo bananas. Okay, I'll mention that when I do jobs and stuff. So after that, I ended up going to, when I quit there, I broke up with my girlfriend at the time, and I quit Alexander's, and then I was getting ready to move into a trailer in Countryside Village, which is like far, far away from here, and I ended up taking a job at the local Frisch's there. And one night after I was done working, she had texted me saying that she was kind of lonely and she didn't really have anything to do, and she was wondering if I wanted to hang out for a little bit, so I went and picked her up. We went to Kroger, we got wine. I should not have bought the wine. I should not have like agreed to drink the wine. There was a lot of things that I should have not done that I did do. And it's sad. But we ended up drinking, like, I think we went through both bottles of wine, and I had been sober up until this point and was now no longer sober because I got drunk. You know, obviously that was a relapse that set back the sobriety train. I'm now 4 years sober again. At that time I was also 4 years sober, but I'm now 4 years sober again. Recently celebrated my 4-year milestone, and I'm very proud of myself for that. If I hadn't fucked up, I'd be 8 years sober. But we're here, so. And the thing is that after everything that happened, also, I did not quit drinking. And that's why I don't just count that as like a one-off chance. I drank for like 2 years after this incident, and I had to get myself back on track, and I ended up doing that, and I'm proud of myself for that. I did that shortly before I met my wife, who I've been with almost 4 years too, and I'm really proud of myself for that. It wasn't easy because I was really struggling. But anyway, on with the story. We ended up drinking too much. We started kissing. We started undressing. We started fucking around. We escalated into fooling around, like full, like, sex. I guess is the only way to say it. Pardon my language, YouTube. I know you're kind of iffy about words. And we were up all night. So it was like, we were tired, we were drunk, we were hazy. I ended up taking her home the next morning because I had sobered up. I had fallen asleep and I had sobered up afterwards. And I took her home the next morning. She was not sober. She was still drunk, which kills me for a seasoned alcoholic. I don't know how that works. But anyway. So I took her home, and as I was dropping her off, she gets out of the car and she's like, I love you. And I was like, love you too. Like, I just spit it back out because I didn't know what to say. Like, I was so caught off guard by it. And then, ladies and gents, she ghosted me. Okay, so she was supposed to, I had helped her move out of her house. I had helped her move into her mom and dad's house, which is where she was staying. She was supposed to help me pack up my apartment and move the next day. She did come, but she told me she wasn't going to be of any use because her son had tackled her yesterday and had thrown at her back, which I thought was really weird because she wasn't like hunched over. She could stand up straight. She didn't seem to have any issues with standing or straightening up her spine. So I'm not really sure. I'm pretty sure she was just trying to get out of this. So I said, okay, well, let's just go with me to take these few boxes. We'll get them in, and then I'll drop you off at home, whatever. And she went with me. We dropped off those boxes. We talked on the way back. And I said, you know, you need to tell me. You need to tell me where this is going. What are we doing? Like, how is this going to end up? And she said, it's nothing serious. Everybody makes stupid mistakes when they're drunk. And I was like, that's hurtful because you basically just summed me up to a drunk mistake that shouldn't have happened. And of course that hurt my feelings. So I was quiet and I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then she went home. I tried texting her later that night and I was like, hey, don't forget I'll pick you up for work tomorrow, because I was taking her to work too, because I'm an idiot. And she never paid me, by the way, for any of this. None of the rides, none of the things I did to help her out. She never paid me for any of that. In fact, I gave her money. But like, she never paid me for any of this. And then she was like, she just never responded. I never heard from her again. She deleted me off Facebook. She deleted me off Instagram. She deleted me off of, she didn't have TikTok then, and neither did I. But Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat, she blocked me all from. And I was like, but you couldn't be ballsy enough to just say you needed time to think, or you didn't want to be friends anymore. No, you just ghosted me. And ever since then, I've held this kind of anger about it, because it's like, at least be ballsy enough to say, hey, I don't want anything to do with you. You know what I mean? Like, just don't be that asshole. Like, fuck. Anyway, that's Kyla's story. Next week, we're going to talk about destiny. As always, make good choices, be kind to others, and don't do anything I wouldn't do. Bye!